Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 42 of the Geek Perspective. I am your host, Roy, and along with my co-hosts, Derek and Tom, today we are reviewing Midsommar. What's going on, guys? How you guys doing today?
Relax.
Relaxed, relaxing, doing nothing.
Doing nothing. You work today, Derek?
No, it's the quiet, boring, lazy Saturday.
Wow, you had a whole Saturday. You had a Saturday off. Nice, man.
No work till Tuesday.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. That's a nice little
Oh,
break.
Look at that.
I had a rough stretch at the beginning of the week. I did 70 hours in 8 days.
That's a lot, but you know what? You're young. You can hack. You can hack it. You're a young fella.
It wasn't the hours. It was like, I think from Thursday to Monday, I was up by 5:45 in the morning, and I didn't get home till like 9:30 at night. So just doing that like 4 days in a row kind of just killed me. I think Tuesday I was on autopilot.
I know that feeling, man. I know that feeling. By the end of the week, because we, like I said, on 5 days we'll do anywhere from like 48 to 56 hours on 5 days. So by that last Friday, those last couple hours on that Friday, I'm treading water, man. It's tough. So I feel you. I feel you.
Let's do some small talk.
Yeah.
You buy any new pops by any chance?
I have not. It was funny. I went to the mall and I actually saw some that I'm like, oh, because we've talked about it, how I'm only going to do horror and I'm only going to do rock music or music, they call it the rock line. And there's a pretty cool Marilyn Manson that just came out, and I was like, ooh, that's pretty cool. And then the Iron Maiden ones they had because their sort of mascot is like the evil Eddie character there. That's like a zombie / skeleton type thing, and they have like 4 variations on it. And I saw 2 of them there too, and I walked away. I was pretty proud of myself because I said, and like I'm being good. I will get them eventually, but not in any rush. So I have not picked up any. How about you boys?
Nope.
None for me, although I've seen a couple that looked pretty good that I would get if I saw them.
Oh, yeah? Which ones?
I've seen, it's a Chase one. I don't know if it's out yet or if it's coming soon. It's The Legend of Korra. The Korra Pop. I don't know if you've seen that one.
Mm-mm.
I've seen them, like, they're on Facebook, like the ads, because Facebook likes to stalk people's lives.
Oh, yes, they do. Yes, they do.
I've seen that one, and I've seen Madara Uchiha one. That looked really cool.
Cool. Nice. And
yeah,
I'm still
looking for that gold Chewbacca.
The gold?
Chewy.
I didn't know you were looking for it. I'll if I'm out and I see it, I'll grab it for you.
Cool.
But I don't know if I will or not. But I mean, if I do, I didn't know you were looking at it. So you didn't get nothing new since the Kylo Ren one?
Nope, nothing new.
Which I realized as I watched back last episode and we were talking about it, I kept calling it the Knight of Ren, and I realized it's Kylo Ren. I misspoke last episode. So like 4 times I called that pop the Knight of Ren or something. So.
Yeah, it was close, still close though. The Knights of Ren were just his apprentices.
Yeah.
Apprentices. So that fast 5 times.
And they have made the Knight of Ren pops now. You can get them at Target and stuff like that. So that's why I was confused. But yeah, that's a cool one, man. That is a cool one. I do want to get that. And I don't collect the Rick and Morty, but I want to get the Rick and Morty with Rick on the toilet seat. That one looks hilarious.
It does seem pretty cool. All right, let's get into some movie news.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have heard, but I guess over the last year that CW has been working on doing a Lost Boys reboot of a TV show. Well, certainly a reboot. It's a reboot from the movie.
Yeah.
And I guess we tried last year to get it going. But I guess there were a lot of issues, so they retooled the whole entire thing, and they're really, really pushing for this show this year. I guess they get ready to reshoot the first episode, and I think, man, I haven't seen The Lost Boys in a million years, but
I love that movie.
It was a great movie. It really was. I love the movie.
So, question.
Derek's probably never seen
it. Yeah, probably never even heard of it. Great movie from I was young. It was during the 80s, right? It was the movie,
yep.
Right? The 80s, yeah. So I was young, but it was a great movie. Vampires. It was Corey Feldman, Corey Haim, the two Corey. They were you won't even know this. Back in the 80s, we had these. There was teen heartthrobs because of teen magazines like Teen Vogue and 17 and all the teen magazines, and it was all about these, good-looking younger guys coming up, and the two Coreys were like these heartthrobs. Everybody, the two Coreys, one of them's passed now, unfortunately. Corey Haim has passed. He struggled with addiction, and found out that he was probably molested as a child and stuff. But yeah, they were like two of the biggest young actors on the planet during the 80s, and they did the movie The Lost Boys, and it was just great with vampires and stuff like that. So my question though, Roy, anybody from the movie going to be in the show, like any cameos or just part of the cast?
They haven't even mentioned that yet. I know they I guess they basically the whole all new cast from last year.
Yeah,
they get rid of a lot of people. It's a total reboot, even from not even getting started. They're going to start fresh this year, and I guess they really strongly want to get this going. I guess somebody in CW really wants to show up and going. So I hope they do some cameos, or at least the movie help set up the show.
Yeah,
that'd be really good.
Well, knock on wood, I hope it's really great, because
The Lost Boys, that was a great movie.
Yeah, it's called classic. Really, you know what I mean? It's
yeah, Derek, you should watch that movie.
Definitely check it out sometime.
Then we have Hulu, Castle Rock. There's been no decision on Castle Rock whether it's coming back or not. I thought for sure they would do a season 3, but I guess Hulu is holding off and seeing how Castle Rock does.
Yeah, I hope they do. I really do. I hope they do. Sorry, I keep going.
No, it's fine. They renewed Castle Rock for season 2 right away.
Yeah,
so I'm kind of worried that they've waited this long.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't be too worried, maybe, because I mean that's pretty common with shows, especially like they get greenlit for a second season even before the first one. I mean, it's sort of a trend, and it doesn't necessarily mean, but then they wait after that second one to kind of see not just how it is on like first, the weeks that it comes out, but like especially now with streaming services and stuff, they data track throughout the 6, 8, 9 months afterwards too to kind of see. So hopefully, because hopefully it doesn't take the trend that Netflix is doing where they're just prematurely now seem to be canceling everything. Like I don't like that either. Although I will say it is nice that at least with most Netflix shows they're not going to jump the shark. You know what I mean? Because they do end them pretty quickly, but sometimes I think it's too quick personally. So hopefully they go to season 3. Hopefully they do. I really like season 2.
It was a great season.
Yeah, I thought season 1 was great too. You know what I mean? I really did. Speaking of season things, real quick, either of you have checked out The Outsider?
No, I haven't.
That is surprised me really, really good so far. I believe it's HBO, but I have HBO with the Hulu package. And I put it on as like kind of background things because I like I said with Stephen King, for me it's either hit or miss. And and I kind of didn't see I was seeing parts of the first episode, and then like the last 10 minutes of that episode, like I sat down, I was like, oh my God. So I had to rewatch it, and I've watched it all now. It's you guys should definitely check that out. The Outsider. Very, very but sorry.
Repeat. No. Repeat what you just said. You just kind of.
Oh, okay.
You went out a little bit there.
I forget what I said.
You were saying check out The Outsider.
What's that?
You were saying check out The Outsider.
Yeah, you definitely check it out if you get a chance, guys. I know you're more of a fan of Stephen King than I am, Roy. So I think you would you'll really dig it. Derek, I don't know if you'll like it, but it is a very good show. So
I think we lost Derek.
Oh, he's frozen, huh? I didn't even realize that he hasn't moved in a little while, huh? So
yeah, we lost him. He needs to buy a computer or a tablet.
Yeah, Derek, you got to do something, buddy. I know he shot you down real quick when you brought that up, but he's got to do something if he still wants to do this. So,
oh, he's coming back.
Back. Try to come back in, Derek, if you can. So anyway,
yeah. Thanks, Linda. Linda said Derek's frozen.
I didn't even know Linda was here. I haven't seen her right in anything. Oh, hey, Linda.
So, how about the news about Kobe Bryant and his daughter? Did you see the tribute from the Lakers game the other night?
Very sad, man. Very, very sad. Fan of Kobe or not, always sad. Somebody getting taken out in as young as that, 41, 40, almost 42. I mean, that's only a few years older than I am right now. And yeah, I mean, sad for everybody, not just Kobe. I sometimes I feel like we forget about the other. There were 7 besides Kobe and his daughter. There were 7 other people in there, and just a very, very sad thing, you know. I mean, and I'm not one of the ones that martyrs Kobe. I mean, he was human. He did some bad things in his day. I mean, I've never been one when somebody dies to completely martyr them. You got to take the good with the bad, you know, when assessing somebody's life, you really do. But
that was a crazy thing, though. A big controversy came up a couple days after the crash. I guess somebody actually brought up his affair.
Yes,
and there were and everyone, I guess, revolting against whoever brought it up, and like it wasn't that they shouldn't have brought it up. They brought it up so quickly. It was almost in spite of what happened, and yeah, it should have been brought up, but not right after the crash.
Well, yeah, they one play. I don't know if it was maybe the New York Times or something. They actually suspended a journalist because she had brought it up. It was about probably 3 or 4 days after everything happened. She had, and she didn't even take like a super hard stance, like, oh, anti-Kobe, as much as just kind of laying it out that he was human. He did some bad things, and she did. It wasn't salacious or anything, and they had suspended her. And then they brought her back the next day because there was outrage over it, because it was just like, she wasn't trying to make a name for herself off of it. She just brought up the point, and, they didn't like that. So it's
something that we carried away. And they fire or suspend people without really thinking about the consequences,
Exactly. And especially it's like he did do those things, you know what I mean? So, but it's still sad, no matter how you say it. I mean, his daughter, how old was she? 13 years old, 12 years old, something like that. I mean, it's just, that's terrible, man.
It was definitely way too soon to bring that up. If you're thinking about the family, you don't bring that up. That just causes more hurt to the family.
Mm-hmm.
And all that does for you is sell papers. That's all that does. But I want to mention the other people that passed away because I don't think they, like you said, they're getting enough.
Yeah.
Brought up enough, I guess is the best way to say that. So we have John, his wife Carrie, and daughter Alyssa Altabelli, mother and daughter Sarah and Peyton Chester. We have the Mamba Academy coach Christina Mauser, pilot Ara Zobian. And did you know that the company was not licensed to fly in bad weather?
Yeah,
and they were still able to fly that.
Yeah, I read all about that, and yeah, and the guy didn't have a certain. He was certified in it, but he didn't have his credentials on him, which should have precluded for something, which he should never taken off either on that. And then yeah, they didn't have the right equipment. If they had the proper one other proper thing in the helicopter, and I'm sorry because I don't know exactly, but yes, I agree, Linda. They did. They worked it out, and they were happy. And so I agree with you, but he did hurt another person too. But hey, like I agree with Roy. You know what I mean? It didn't need to be brought up that same day either. You know what I mean? I understand both sides of it. Is what I'm getting at. You know what I mean? Like I said, I don't like to martyr anybody. But yeah, he supposedly would have had if they had a piece of equipment, it would have told them even through the fog that they were going to hit a hill. You know what I mean? And they didn't have that in the thing. And then come to find out that the helicopter that owns the company there that owns the helicopter has had 5 or 6 crashes since 1985 or 86 or something like that. So,
which is quite a bit when you think about it.
Yes, it is. It is.
People think, oh, that's nothing, but it's safer to fly than to drive your car. So when you put it in that perspective, that's a lot. And that's kind of ridiculous. But
yeah,
it definitely a tragedy. You know, it's a sad day. You know, you had all these people, like all these athletes were coming out, and several athletes have even said that they were looking forward to talking to Kobe and doing some of the things he's been doing for society, like giving back. And they were trying to figure out ways to give back, like he's been doing. And so you add that to the loss, it's like it's horrible. You know, he could have been a mentor to a lot of young athletes on how to give back. Hopefully, those athletes can try to get back and figure it out on their own because they're not totally stupid, so they should be able to figure out how to give back.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. You have that much money. I can tell you a bunch of ways to give back when you have that kind of money. So
Yeah. So there's gonna be a lot of tributes to Kobe. The All-Star game, I guess they're gonna be wearing Kobe's 24 and Gianna's number 2. I guess they're thinking about doing that for the All-Star game. So that'll be cool.
Oh, you know what I did here? You know, the NBA symbol there, you know, their logo, it's actually Jerry West dribbling a basketball. You know, a lot of people don't know it's Jerry West, but it's based off of Jerry West. They want to change it to Kobe.
Well, that's cool.
See, I'm not really a fan of that personally. I mean, like I said, it's a tragedy. It shouldn't have happened or anything like that. But
why are you not a fan of it?
I don't see the reasoning why. I love the logo. I mean, and I'm not even necessarily a Jerry because he played for the Lakers. You know what I mean? I'm not necessarily a Jerry West fan. I just don't. I don't see the reasoning behind it. It's like Kobe was a great player and everything like that. He was a transcendent player, but did he change how the game was played?
Yes.
I don't think so.
Almost definitely.
What did he do that changed how the game was played?
Totally
he was a great player. He worked on his game and everything like that, and he was lights out. And you know, after his 3 seasons, you know, once he finally found his groove. But how did he actually change the game?
Because he's one of the greatest players ever. He wasn't a great player. He's one of the greatest.
Oh, I agree. So is Jerry West, and Jerry West did change how it was played. You know, he's a ball handler. He changed how to play. Now, if they said Bill Russell, I'd be all down for that. You know what I mean? If they, I just personally, I mean, I could be sold on it. I could be sold on it, but I just don't see the reasoning yet because I don't see how he's changed how the game has been physically played.
Of course, he has. He's changed the whole generation of how the game is played. A lot of players have played his type of game now,
which is
watch a game. Watch a game.
But I'm asking you. You say they play his style of game. Which is jacking the ball up 100 times?
Trying to tell you.
He
played defense.
Yes, I agree.
He scored. He was able to shoot from different ranges.
Michael Jordan did that.
Yeah, one player. Most players were not doing that 10 years ago. Most players were either dunking the ball or take a long three pointers, and that was it. That's all they were doing. Kobe Bryant changed the way the game was played by shooting the ball from different ranges, playing defense. And that's just two of the things.
I like I said, I'm willing to listen, Roy, but I'm not buying your arguments right now. But I'm willing to listen.
Well, you just asked about how.
No, I'm not buying those that you're saying. You know what I mean? Like,
that's the biggest reason. The logo is updating. You don't need a 60-year-old logo. It should be updated.
Okay, I disagree.
Well, why shouldn't the logo be updated?
I said if you sold me on a different play, or if you could sell me on Kobe as to why it needs to be Kobe. If you can sell me on that, but I don't see why it needs to be Kobe. We should talk about this. We should talk about this off air, Roy. We could go on for days here.
Conversation.
What?
This is a good conversation.
Oh, I agree. But I mean, like I said, I don't see why it needs to be Kobe yet. But like I said, I'll listen.
What do you say, Derek?
Nothing is decided to come back. Fault for announcing that it's Jerry West as the logo. If it just remained the mystery of who it was, then there would be no argument.
Everyone knows it's Jerry West, though. That's not a big secret.
No, yeah,
not anymore. You know what I mean? It was
that it's Jerry West's silhouette.
Yeah, I mean, it was speculated for a long time, but now it's been, you know what I mean? For a long time, it wasn't known for sure who it was, but now in the last, 10, 15 years, it's definitively, yes, it's been Jerry West. And I actually think that Jerry West and the West family is very supportive of it. Oh, Larry Bird, there you go, Linda. He changed how the game was played. He did. I mean,
wait a minute. How did he change the game?
You talk about fucking you like you said, guys weren't playing defense. He was a fucking defense master. He was a passing master. He was a shot master. He could shoot at any spot on the floor and hit him. God, watch his highlights. He shoots over a backboard in a game. Over the back, from behind the backboard, shoots over it, gets it in. Shoots from half court, gets it in. Does those crazy passes. All those same things that you said about Kobe, he was doing. Oh, but it doesn't stick out because there was other guys doing it at the time. It's not like Kobe was the first guy that played defense and shot from, a bunch of different places.
He was the first guy in the last 20 years that did it. If you watch basketball from the late 90s till, recently, people were not playing defense at all. It was all about.
I agree. There's a lot wrong with basketball. People travel. I mean, the game has changed a ton. But
I'm gonna say hi to Cupcake Girl while you guys are arguing about the NBA logo.
Yeah. Like I said, we'll talk another time about this.
Linda says you're right about something. I have no idea what you're right about because you're totally wrong. But another story.
Roy's getting all heated.
My opinion is personally, I don't think the NBA logo should be any one player because after every 50 years you'd be changing the logo, or every 20 years you'd be changing the logo because somebody better came along.
Update
it. That's actually a decent point, Derek. That's a decent point. That I mean, maybe even like amalgamation of many different people because I mean. it's kind of hard to say this guy's more important than that guy because they all played in different eras, and you know what I mean. And like Roy, to your point, like nobody was doing that 20 years ago. That was that era. But in the 80s, everybody was playing a different way, and or 70s, nobody was doing what Dr. J was doing. You know what I mean? Like that, and like I mean, it goes.
Girls.
I didn't hear you. You broke up on that. Sorry, Roy. I didn't hear you.
I was answering Cupcake Girls saying there's going to be a debate about this stupid movie.
Stupid movie? I thought you liked the movie.
No. Not at all.
Really? I thought that's why you. I thought you had said you liked it last week. I was. I guess I misheard you. I thought last week you had said you liked it. Who's Cupcake Girl anyway?
She knows Derek.
Oh, okay.
Frankly, I'm sure it's my relative Diane.
Derek doesn't even know her. You. Enough about basketball.
Yes.
All right. So, what? All right. We're going to review the movie Midsommar. And Midsommar, if anyone doesn't know, is a 2019 folk horror film written and directed by Ari Aster, who actually also did Hereditary, which is next week's review, Tom.
Yes. Next week we will be reviewing Hereditary by Ari Aster, however you say his name as well. So it'd be kind of cool to compare and contrast, whatever, and get everybody's thoughts. So yeah, look forward to it.
And this movie was produced by Lars Kundson. Can't even see his name. And the movie stars Florence Pugh, which I love that name, Florence Pugh.
Yeah.
Jack Reynor, William Jackson Harper. And wasn't he from that TV show on something about heaven?
Yeah, The Good Place that just ended Thursday night. The final episode. Man, one of my favorite shows. Yeah, he plays Chidi on The Good Place. Very good actor. Very, very, very talented guy. Sad if you guys haven't checked out The Good Place. It's one of the best shows that have come out in the last 5 years or so. It's definitely check it out. It just ended. So very good show.
Wilhelm Bloomgren.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Cupcake Girl is Derek's cousin.
Oh, okay.
You lost Derek again.
I know.
Will Poulter also stars in it, and it was distributed by A24 in the United States, Nordisk Film in Scandinavia. The runtime was 147 minutes, a budget of $8 to $10 million, and somehow it grossed $42 million. And the movie is about a college student, Danny. And Tom, if I forget something, just chime in, okay?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Danny is traumatized after his sister kills herself and her parents by filling their home with carbon monoxide. Now, did they ever say why she committed suicide?
I never realized it. And to add to that, like, she wasn't trying to kill the parents, was she? That's where I was confused as well, because I read the same sort of, like
run.
What? Because the reason I say it because the hose was going directly, like, taped around her face and everything. You know what I mean? So I wasn't sure if it was her intention, or maybe it was. I didn't know that. To me, that wasn't clear. But sorry.
I know. That was one of the many problems with this movie. And Danny obviously is a wreck by this, and this puts a big strain on her relationship with her boyfriend Christian. And basically, the following summer, Christian and his guy friends were invited to Sweden for a midsummer celebration at a commune. They were invited by a fellow student, and Danny finds out and gets all pissy because her boyfriend didn't tell her about it. And so the boyfriend has to basically let her go because he screwed up. So he lets her go with them, and his friends weren't too happy about it, which I don't think they really cared for her anyway.
No, they wanted they wanted him to break up with her the whole time, and then they were like upset when the parents died because now he was stuck in the relationship even longer. Like he couldn't in good conscience. Yeah, they didn't like, and it was kind of unclear. Like he seemed unhappy, but then he never, even before and after when he had chances, he never really wanted to pull the trigger on break it. He was very conflicted, I think, on the friends did not.
Nope. Well, I guess Ari guy there. Originally the movie was supposed to be more of a straight horror slasher film,
Okay.
but I guess he or somebody he knew would just get out of a bad relationship, so then he decided to spin it around and turn it into this weird, crazy movie, and which ended up being what we got. So anyway, they go to Sweden and they meet another couple, Connie and Simon, who they start hanging out together, and another communal brother offers them some mushrooms. So needless to say, they started getting high and having hallucinations. And of course, Danny has hallucinations of her sister, which freaks her out. And after she calms down and stops whining for a little bit, they get to witness a ritual. And it was kind of strange. It was a suicide by two of the older elders, which freaks the group out. And do you remember what that ritual was called? It was called something weird.
I don't remember, but it falls in line with because it's their Midsummer Festival. And this only happened. What they say the previous time was 80 or 90 years prior. They had it. Say it again.
Once every 90 years.
90. Okay, that's right. All right. So, yeah, but I mean, they commit suicide, but it's like a cultural thing. They're like just giving their bodies back to the earth. I don't know what the actual festival was called because they were in Scandinavia, and I'm sure it had something like that. But yeah, so they committed suicide, but it was like not a shock, so it was on purpose and stuff. But again, also plays into why it would definitely mess with her head even more after the year prior, her sister committing, you know what I mean, the tie-in with the suicides, and then her parents died, you know what I mean. So very strange, but not especially in 20th 21st century. But these types of things wouldn't have been that strange going back 500 years and stuff like that. So. But yeah, long story short, I don't know the answer to I don't know the name of the festival.
All right. Well, anyway, the two elders commit suicide. They jump off. How do they jump or fall off a cliff? But they go off a cliff and they crash on the ground. And one of them survives. And
yes,
as he survives, he starts. He fell off a cliff, so he's screaming in pain. He's in agony. So the other people in the commune start mimicking him of his moaning and groaning, and then they start bludgeoning him with rocks and a sledgehammer?
Almost, you know what it was almost like? Those sort of cartoonish mallets that they use at carnivals when you go to hit the thing and then it shoots up and dings the bell. You know what I'm talking about at carnivals? That's kind of what it reminded me of. It was just like this big sort of clown, almost cartoonish sized mallet.
and they bashed the skull in. And I thought the special effects that were okay.
Yeah.
What do you think of the special effects?
Because I mean, they were fine. You know what I mean? It was nothing you hadn't seen or any, or nothing too groundbreaking as far as special effects. But they were fine. They weren't bad. They did not deter. Like sometimes a bad special effect can really take away from a scene or even the whole movie. And not, I didn't have a problem. What about you?
Yeah, no, I mean, I've seen a lot worse.
Yeah.
I thought it was one of the better parts of the movie, to tell you the truth. I'm all for a little bit of gore in my life.
Yeah.
So anyway, so the group actually freaks out, and Derek actually laughed when he bashed his head in. All right, Derek. So anyway, Simon and Connie, the smart ones of the group, decide, let's get the hell out of here because this isn't normal. So as Connie's gathering her things, one of the elders tells her that Simon already left without her. So Connie's like, I don't care. I am still out of here. So she just has to leave on her own. Well, sometime later, you can hear a woman screaming in the distance. I wonder who that was. So anyway, later on, Mark, one of the Americans in Danny's group, urinates on a bush or a tree or something, which literally pisses off the cult. Now, why would you do that in the first place? Like, that made no sense in this movie. Like, I'm like, who in the right mind does that?
For me, I thought the same thing. And then I was thinking they're probably, for me, like, this is what I took out of it after I had kind of thought about it for a few minutes, was they're just kind of playing up the ignorant American stereotype is what I felt. You know what I mean? Like that. It's like, because it's not even really like it's really like I went to Europe in 2002 after 9/11, and those sort of people really buy into those, like the ignorant American and stuff. Like for example, a friend of mine, we were at a bar and oh god, two things. First of all, we were at a bar in Ireland at this point, not because we had traveled to a bunch of countries. He asked for an Irish car bomb, which that's an American drink. That's very insulting to ask in Ireland to ask for an Irish car bomb. But then he tried to tip the bartender. You don't do that. Over there, they get paid a wage. They don't tip over there because they get paid a living wage as a bartender. And I was at the bar. He didn't realize that I was with him. So when he walked away, he was like, fucking ignorant Americans. And I'm just like, oh man, like he didn't, he thought he was doing something good. You know what I mean? So, but that's different. But yeah, that's for me what they were trying to play up, that he was just this ignorant American. They do whatever they want. They don't respect cultures and stuff. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's how I took it. So,
well, that makes it more plausible.
But again, why would he do it? You know what I mean?
That he did it. He did it right in the open.
Yeah,
like, I don't know, but I know people that would just piss wherever they want. They would never do it right in the open. You know what I mean? It's like, so that made no sense. But I guess, to what you said, that makes sense. I think it's stupid and asinine.
Yeah.
But that makes the most sense as I've heard so far. So
it's a stretch, but that's how I saw it. You know what I mean?
It makes sense, actually. I can actually see that. But anyway, so he pisses everyone off, and later he gets lured away by a woman who he was kind of drooling over the whole time. So then he vanishes. So later that night, Josh goes into the temple to take some pictures, which they were told not to go in there. He goes in there anyway.
He was told not to take pictures. He was told he couldn't, not to touch the book. Did everything wrong that he possibly could.
That I see Americans doing, Nosy Americans. That I definitely see doing.
Oh, yeah.
He sees this half-naked dude wearing the face of one of his friend Mark. And he's wearing his face in like thighs or legs or something, like the skin. So then when he realizes, like, oh, this is messed up, I need to get out of here, he gets bashed in the head with a mallet. So next day, Danny is given some more drugs, a lot of drugs in this movie, and participates in a maypole, which is a dancing competition, which she wins and is crowned May Queen, one of the rituals. At the same time, her boyfriend Christian, who also takes some drugs, participates in a sexual rite designed to impregnate one of the cultists. Well, Danny catches him, freaks out. I'm at this point, I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Like this film is just off the rails. So then Christian, after having sex, discovers Joss is sees Joss's leg and finds Simon, who's been dismembered. Christian then gets paralyzed by one of the elders. And this is when everything gets all crazy. Dini is told they must purge the commune of its evil with 9 sacrifices, which must be offered 4 victims of outsiders, which was Josh, Mark, Connie, and Simon, 4 cult members to sacrifice, 2 elders, and I'm sorry, 4 cult members to sacrifice, and 2 volunteers. And as the maid queen, she has to choose the 9th victim. Now, if you get all that, and it has to be either Christian or a villager that she has to choose. And I'm like, now we all know who she's going to choose at this point after catching her boyfriend, you know. And now, and let me ask you this. All right, get this picture, people. Her boyfriend, Christian, who's now paralyzed, is in a chair stuffed into a disemboweled bear. What the fudge is up with that?
It was a callback.
What did you think when you saw that?
It was a callback, though, from earlier in the movie. I don't remember the exact line. The synchronized Derek. Yeah, the sort of synchronized moaning and crying. It was very strange. But that was a callback. Earlier in the movie, they had talked about a beer and something, and you know, they called it the bear like a vile, ugly sort of monster type thing. You know what I mean? Like I don't remember exactly, but it was a callback to something where, you know, they were talking about a bear and why the bear was bad. It was, you know, not a good thing. So I'll have to look at the actual, you know, I'll try to get the actual lines, but yes, it was a callback to something earlier in the movie. That's why he was in the bear suit. So.
And I agree with Cupcake Girl. Drugs, pole dancing, and head bashing sounds like a rock concert.
It was. It was like it was like Coachella on fucking crack. So
I can see that too. All right, so she has to decide who she picks. Of course, she picks her boyfriend, and they basically set the temple on fire. And as people leave, you hear people screaming in agony, and Dee she starts crying, whining, thinking like, "Oh, this is horrible." And then slowly, her frown turns into a smile, and that's how the movie ends. Which I'm like, what a stupid ending. What did you think of the ending?
I was fine with it. I liked the movie. I did. I enjoyed it. It was different. Wasn't my favorite movie, you know, by far. Not the best horror, you know what I mean? We've talked about how hard, like, you know, our thoughts on horror in previous episodes, and, you know, we have different opinions. And this is kind of a stretch for almost as a horror movie. Although calling it a folk horror, it kind of makes it sound, it does fit it better. But yeah, I was fine with the ending. You know, like, it was funny because I watched this twice. You know what I mean? I told you I watched it once on the stick. Cut wasn't really good. I liked it, but it just wasn't. And then I watched it on Prime, a really good cut and everything, ultra high def, all that stuff. It made a big difference in my enjoyment. And yeah, I mean, I dug the movie. I thought you had said last week that you liked it too. So I was surprised when you were at the beginning. You're like, "Look, this fucking movie" or whatever, because well, I enjoyed it.
I watched part of it, and I was like, "Oh, this is pretty good." And when I went to finish the rest of the movie, it just unraveled for me.
Okay, that's fair.
It just unraveled. The whole, like, there was just too many holes for me anyway. It turned out to be what I thought it was going to be. Like, here's a perfect example. Like, Christian doesn't tell his girlfriend, who's obviously not very stable to begin with.
Yeah.
he started going to Sweden. Now, if you have a girlfriend who's like, I don't know if she's high strung or whatever,
Bipolar.
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 If you tell her what's going on, you don't like oh, we'll leave it next week. You find a way to tell her because you know what's going to happen if you don't.
Yeah, but for me, I totally see what you're saying, and in the real world, that's what you would do. But for me, see, I just felt like that played up in making it more unlikable. You to find at least certain aspects of this character unlikable, and I think that was just, and it probably wasn't the best way. Definitely wasn't the best way. But it was an obvious way that to portray this guy being an a-hole. You know what I mean?
Right, but at the same time,
I agree with you.
Good telling story kind of way. They got lazy and were just doing things. Like it was like, holy Jesus.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see that. Yeah.
And shame on the black kid. He should have known the place was fucked up and gotten out of there.
He was the smartest of the group. He should have realized that there was stuff going on.
Let me just tell everybody, if you're out in another country and you see people voluntarily kill themselves in a cult, you leave. You don't stay.
But then again, think about it. The girl left, and what happened to her?
Oh, they stayed. And what happened to them?
I know, but she tried to leave, right? She tried to take off, and you know what I mean? So
they probably get out of there. At least someone probably gets out of there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree 100%. I totally agree. And like I said, he was the smartest out of everybody there. He should have and he had a familiarity with the culture and stuff. Some of this, not everything, but he had. This was. They go over there because this is going to be his thesis for, is it his master's degree, I believe, or either a master's or a PhD or something, you know what I mean? So, so he had at least a passing familiarity with like certain stuff. So he should have realized right away that stuff was weird. You know what I mean? I totally agree with you there. But then again, if you do that, then you don't have a movie either. It's just like if in a slasher film, if the character doesn't go downstairs, then you don't have a movie. You know what I mean?
Of course you do. You have them fighting their way out of there.
Yeah, you could have, but that wasn't necessarily the story they wanted to tell. But no, I can see that. I can totally see it. I can totally. Sorry, I wanted to read Derek's statement in here. Moral of the story: if you want to survive a cult, you have to win the May Queen pole dance.
Very true. Very true.
Nice, Derek. Nice.
Learn how to dance before you leave the country. Well, basically, in my opinion, if you want to see a movie about an earthy, crunchy people, it's not scary or gory, kind of, in my opinion, ridiculous, then this is a movie definitely for you. I just think this is, in my opinion, and it's just me, and a lot of people like the movie. It got great reviews by critics.
Yeah.
I believe Rotten Tomatoes has a 7 point something.
Okay.
So people do like it.
Yeah. See, here's how I would sell it, because like I said, I liked it. I don't think it's the greatest movie in the world. Trust me, I don't. And I agree with you, Roy, on 99% of your points here. I agree with you. I'm just giving another perspective. It doesn't even mean that I believe that perspective. I'm just trying, you know what I mean? Trying to be devil's advocate here. But if I were to sell, if you want to watch something completely different, probably something that you have not seen, like a story like that, something pretty original, then check it out. You know what I mean? If you're not into horror and stuff like that, or any of the stuff we talked about, then you shouldn't. You know what I mean? But it is definitely different. A different movie, in my opinion. It was definitely out of some of the, out of a lot of our reviews, I feel like it's for one of the newer movies, pretty original. That doesn't mean it's good. I'm just saying That's how I would sell it on somebody. You probably haven't seen anything like this. So,
I guarantee you haven't seen anything like it.
so
I mean, man. And it's funny, like, at first, when I first saw the picture of the poster, I'm like, this is going to be a horrible.
Yeah, I did too. When I saw that, because I had read about it, and then I saw it's like, I'm not going to like this. That's a weird poster.
And then I started watching it, and at first I liked it, and I expected the turn. And when it turned, it sounds like the original view of the movie was a lot better than what turned out to be. Whoever had that bad relationship pretty much screwed up the movie, in my opinion. and like I said, this is for me.
Yeah.
I hope you guys watch this movie, and if you guys watch this movie, please come back next week or whenever you watch it. We do a live show every Saturday at 4:30, sometimes 3:30, but 4:30 we usually always live. And let me know what you thought of it. And if you think I'm wrong, please tell me. Or better yet, just comment on the video below after you see the movie. You know, it's always on YouTube. You can go to the video and comment below and let us know what you thought of the movie. If you think I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. But I guarantee you'll agree with me.
That's a good point too. I'm glad you said something like that, Roy, because it depending on the movie, we have varying opinions or similar opinions or whatever. But not all our reviews we like. Like last week, me and you did not enjoy the movie that Derek had picked. But even though we are being sort of negative towards them, we still want you to watch those movies. You know what I mean? This isn't we're not here to tell you not. We want you to watch it. We want to hear your thoughts because, like I said, I'm always I try to keep everything, my opinions malleable in sort of when I say that, I mean that I can be swayed other ways, like even going back to our Kobe Bryant, Jerry West, and I don't want to get back on it, but like I said, I'm always willing to listen and change my opinion if I hear the right thing. We always, even if we're dissing it, we always want to hear your opinions out there because I'd love to hear it. And you might have something, you might see something in the movie that we didn't, or I didn't, and it might click something in my brain and be like, oh my God, it all makes sense. You know what I mean? So
also a kind of movie where 10 different people could have 10 different views of the movie.
Yes.
I think this is one of those movies where everyone takes their own take from the movie, which I think is a good thing personally. I just wish they did it in a better way.
Yeah.
But this is a movie. I think 10 people would have different views.
Oh, yeah.
And it had that potential. I just wish they did a few things differently.
Yeah. No, I can, like I said, I can totally see why.
I love that movie.
What one?
I loved it.
What movie? Oh, yeah.
A review for next week.
Next week. Like I said, same director.
Where's this movie on? Is it Netflix or is it Amazon?
Oh, I want to say it was Amazon, but I'll have to double. Let me just talk for a second, and I will tell you real quick. I can't remember. I know it's on one or the other, so I'll yes.
Movie. I can't remember the guy's name. Ari
Aster.
Aster. He did both of these movies. So the plan for us is next week to review that movie, Hereditary, and then to kind of discuss and compare his two directorials and to see what we thought of his directing in both movies.
Yeah, because it's his first two full-length features. He's had a couple shorts, but these are his. Midsommar was his first, and then Hereditary was. Is that the way? Yes, I believe that's how the order of them. So it's not Netflix, so I'm pretty sure it's Prime. I'm just going to double check so we can let everybody know.
And if you do watch both movies and you want to appear on the show, let us know.
Yes.
More than welcome to appear on our episodes.
Please.
We'd love to have some outside points of view. So don't be shy.
It's on Prime. It's on Prime. So yeah. It's on Prime. It came out in 2018, runtime of 2 hours and 7 minutes. So
it didn't even seem long.
What's that?
That movie did not seem that long at all.
Now, well, Midsommar was actually almost 2.5.
That felt like 4 hours to me. No, I'm just kidding. Actually, I will say, Midsommar, for all the problems I had with it, it did move along.
It did. I will definitely agree with you there. Definitely.
Say about it, for all the faults and all the craziness, it at least did do something right. Now, if our co-host Derek can get a computer that he can use for the show, we'll be all set.
Yes. So we should give Derek some time so he can type. So Derek, tell us your high level thoughts on the movie, like what you thought of it, and what kind of rating or whatever, because I know it's going to take him a while to type so we can talk, you know what I mean? But yeah, get that ready and like what you would give it out of whatever, you know?
I bet he loves it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. I don't know that Derek likes anything besides anime.
Come on, Derek.
So, but yeah, so while Derek's doing that, I mean, I enjoyed it. I think everybody should go and check it out. It's worth a watch. Like I said, pretty original. You know, I'm a sucker for any sort of type of horror personally. So, yeah, but you guys should definitely check. Well, and another thing I like too was now the people you'll recognize some people in the cast, but it's nobody super famous, which I always like in films. When you get some new people, like I said, probably the most recognizable was I don't know his name in real life. The guy that plays Chidi on The Good Place that he had mentioned earlier. He's probably the biggest star, and I mean, you only really know him from The Good Place and a couple now he's in a new Axe body spray commercial too. But other than that, you don't know him. So I always like that too on movies where you get to see some new people in the movie. And a movie is not sold on the actors in the movie, but is sold on its story, you know, and that's what this movie has done. It's selling you on the story. It's not worried about bringing in those big names and stuff like that. So I really appreciate that with the movies. In my opinion, you should check it out. And we'll get to our final rating whenever Ray's ready and everything. So
I'm ready whenever you guys are.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, this is your show. So what would you give it out of a 10, Roy?
I'm gonna give it a 5.
Wow. So hopefully Derek is getting ready what he gives it out of a 10 and all that. I'm gonna give it an 8. I gave it an 8. I enjoyed it. Like I said, it wasn't the greatest movie, wasn't a bad movie, but I give it a solid 8. I think you guys should check. I think you should check it out.
All right, Derek had a rebuttal.
Okay. I feel like they did good creating a crazy, roofy, happy cult, though. Go. Yes, I agree.
So, Derek, what did you give for a review? You want to know what you thought, Derek?
Yeah. Out of 10, what would you give it?
You not put 20.
Oh, I got a text. You skipped his first response when you put them up.
Yeah, it wasn't there a minute ago.
I give this movie a 4. I felt like I was able to zone out fairly easily. I was interested in seeing what the cult would do to them, and that part wasn't what I expected. Okay, fair. That's fair. That is fair.
It was definitely one of those movies that, like, I think you have to watch it.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think you all should watch it and suffer with the rest of us.
You might like it.
Yeah.
You
Like
might
I said,
like it.
watch it and then come back and tell us what you thought. Well, I think that's going to be it for our review today, guys. You guys have any last words for the peeps?
Nope. Just check us out on social media and tune in next week for our review of Hereditary. It's going to be good.
It's going to be a very good review, guys. So thanks for watching. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you can follow us, like Tom said, on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Comment on the video. Let us know what you think, especially if you watch this movie. We want to hear from you. Let us know what you thought. And for Tom, Derek, and myself, have a geeky great day. Bye-bye, people.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for tuning in.